Welcome to my channel. Subscribe and enjoy my new stories every day. I had always trusted Lucy. She was my partner, my confidant, and the love of my life. That trust was shattered one fateful evening, and it started with a notification on my phone. I was lounging on the couch, scrolling through social media after a long day at work, when I saw it, a new Instagram story from Lucy. She had told me just hours before that she was heading out of town for a business trip. "Just a couple of days, babe. I'll be back before you know it," she had said with that charming smile that made my heart flutter. I hadn't thought much of it. She was always busy with her work, juggling projects and deadlines. But I hadn't expected to see her so soon, at least not in the way I did. Curiosity piqued, I clicked on her story. What I saw made my stomach drop. Lucy was sitting on the lap of a man I didn't recognize. She looked gorgeous, as always, her hair cascading over her shoulders and her lips painted a shade of red that was striking against her flawless skin. But what struck me the hardest was how she was looking at this man, her gaze filled with something I thought was reserved for me. In the video, they laughed and chatted, clearly lost in their own world. And then, in a moment that felt like a punch to the gut, she leaned in and kissed him on the lips. I felt the blood drain from my face as I gripped the edge of the couch, my knuckles turning white. His hand moved instinctively to her waist, pulling her closer. It was a scene that felt surreal, yet it was happening right before my eyes. "No, no, this can't be real," I muttered under my breath, my heart racing as anger coursed through me. I blinked rapidly, hoping that somehow it was a trick of the light or a cruel joke. But it was all too clear, my wife was cheating on me. I felt my hands shake as I grabbed my phone, replaying the story over and over. Each replay felt like a dagger plunging deeper into my chest. The man's identity eluded me, but that didn't matter. What mattered was the betrayal, the deception. I could feel my world spinning as reality set in. "Lucy, how could you?" I whispered, my voice shaking with disbelief. I was overwhelmed with emotions, hurt, rage, confusion, but one thing burned hotter than the rest, a desire for revenge. I thought of all the late nights I'd spent alone, waiting for her to come home, all the moments I'd stood by her side while she climbed the corporate ladder. The thought of her throwing it all away for some rich man was unbearable. I stood up abruptly, pacing the room like a caged animal. I won't let this slide, I thought, feeling a surge of determination. I envisioned confronting her, demanding answers, exposing her betrayal. But deep down, I knew that wouldn't be enough. No, I wanted her to feel the weight of her actions, to understand the pain she had caused me. As the anger simmered within me, I reached for my phone again, navigating through the app to find Lucy's profile. I wasn't just going to sit back and let her walk away unscathed. I was going to ruin her life, just as she had ruined mine. I started plotting. I envisioned the conversations I'd have with her friends, the way I'd tell them everything. I imagined the looks on their faces when they found out that the perfect couple they idolized was nothing more than a facade. I thought about what I could do to the man who had so boldly claimed what was mine. As I simmered in my thoughts, I realized I had one chance to make this right. I would gather evidence, take screenshots of her indiscretions, and build a case that would leave no room for denial. I knew what I had to do. "I'll show you, Lucy," I murmured, a twisted sense of satisfaction beginning to bubble within me. "You'll regret ever betraying me." With every ounce of my being, I steeled myself for the path ahead, a path marked by betrayal, revenge, and the slow unraveling of the life we had built together. As I stared at her story one last time, I felt the resolve crystallize in my heart. Lucy had no idea what was coming her way, and I was ready to unleash the storm. This was only the beginning. The intrigue would deepen, and the fallout would be catastrophic. But for now, I needed to gather my strength and prepare for the battle that lay ahead. Our lives would never be the same again. The following day, my anger transforms into a cold determination. I can't stop replaying the video in my mind, each replay igniting fresh waves of betrayal. I spend the morning gathering evidence, screenshots of Lucy's story, her recent posts, and even our old conversations that now feel laced with deception. I want to have everything ready before I confront her. I set the stage meticulously, preparing for her return. The living room, once a cozy sanctuary filled with laughter, feels like a battlefield. I move the coffee table to the side, clearing the space to create an atmosphere of confrontation. My heart pounds with anticipation and anxiety as I wait for her to come home. At around 6, the sound of keys jingling in the lock pulls me from my thoughts. I take a deep breath, standing in the middle of the living room, my phone clutched tightly in my hand. The door swings open, and there she is, Lucy, looking beautiful as ever in her business attire, but I see her differently now. I see the woman who has betrayed me. "Hey, babe," she chirps, dropping her bag by the door and flashing that radiant smile that used to make me melt. But today, it feels like a dagger to my heart. "Hey, Lucy," I reply, trying to keep my voice steady. "We need to talk." Her smile falters slightly, and I can see the flicker of confusion cross her face. Okay, about what?" I step closer, my heart racing. "About your Instagram story." Her eyes widen as realization dawns. "What do you mean?" she stammers, a hint of defensiveness creeping into her tone. I pull out my phone, my fingers trembling as I navigate to her story, the betrayal flashing before us like a neon sign. "This." I hold up the phone, forcing her to watch the video again. I see her expression shift from confusion to panic, and then anger as the truth sinks in. "You shouldn't have seen that," she snaps, her voice rising. "It was meant for a close circle." "Close circle?" I echo incredulously. "You were on another man's lap, kissing him. You think that's acceptable? You think I wouldn't find out?" She steps back, crossing her arms defensively. "It's not what you think. He's just a friend. We were having fun." "Fun?" I roar, feeling the walls close in on me. "You call this fun? This is betrayal. You're my wife, Lucy. You're supposed to be loyal to me. Don't act like you're so perfect. You have no idea what I've been going through," she shoots back, her voice thick with emotion. "Then tell me." I demand, my patience fraying. "What could possibly justify this? You should have talked to me instead of running to some rich guy." Her eyes flash with anger. "You don't understand. I work hard, and I'm always stressed. Maybe I just wanted to let loose for once." "Let loose?" I scoff. "By cheating on me? Do you even hear yourself?" "Stop making this about you," she yells, throwing her hands up in frustration. "You always turn everything into a blame game." "I'm not turning anything." I argue back, my voice echoing in the room. "You're the one who chose to betray me. I'm just reacting to your choices." She glares at me, her eyes narrowing. "You think you're so innocent? What about the nights you spent working late? What about the times I felt alone?" The truth hits me like a slap in the face. There were times I had prioritized work over our relationship, but I never thought she would resort to cheating. That doesn't justify this. I shout, my emotions boiling over. "You could have told me. We could have worked it out." "Maybe I didn't want to," she snaps back, tears brimming in her eyes. "Maybe I wanted something different for a change." "Different? You think screwing another man is different? You're delusional, Lucy." The tension in the room escalates as she breaks down, her anger giving way to sorrow. "I didn't want to hurt you. I thought you'd never find out. I thought it was just a fling." "A fling?" I'm incredulous. "You don't get to minimize this. You chose him over me." The weight of the confrontation crushes me. I can feel my heart racing as I take a step back, trying to process everything. What do you want from me, Lucy? I ask, my voice trembling. What do you think will happen now? I don't know, she cries, her voice breaking. I thought we could get through this. I didn't mean to hurt you. Too late for that, I reply coldly, the bitterness cutting through me. You've already shattered my trust. There's no going back from this. Silence hangs in the air, thick and heavy. I can see the tears streaming down her face, but they don't soften the anger swirling within me. I'm done, I finally say, the words tasting bitter on my tongue. I can't be with someone who has betrayed me like this. No, please, she pleads, stepping forward. We can fix this. Just give me another chance. Another chance? I scoff, shaking my head. You think I can just pretend this never happened? You think I can just forgive and forget? It doesn't work like that, Lucy. As I watch her crumble, a part of me feels a pang of regret, but it quickly fades, replaced by the fire of determination. I know I can't let this slide. I need to take control. I need to show her the consequences of her actions. I'm filing for divorce, I declare, the finality of my words hitting us both like a freight train. Her face pales, the realization crashing down on her. You can't be serious, she whispers, her voice choked with disbelief. I am. You've made your choice. Now, I'm making mine. With that, I turn and walk away, my heart heavy but my resolve unyielding. The betrayal has opened a door I never wanted to walk through, but now, there's no turning back. I know what I have to do, and I'll make sure she feels every ounce of my wrath. As I grab my things and step outside, the night air feels fresh against my skin, invigorating. This is just the beginning of my journey, a journey marked by betrayal, retribution, and the unraveling of the life we once shared. I won't rest until she understands the full weight of her actions. After the confrontation, I'm left with a swirling storm of emotions. The reality of filing for divorce settles heavily on my shoulders as I navigate the streets, the world around me blurring into a haze. My mind races with thoughts of revenge and retribution. I can't let Lucy think she can get away with this betrayal. As I walk, I decide to meet up with Mark, my closest friend. He's known Lucy for years and will provide the support I desperately need. We used to share everything, and I know he'll understand the depth of my pain and the fiery resolve I now feel. I shoot him a quick text, and within minutes, he replies, agreeing to meet at our favorite bar. When I arrive, the familiar ambience of the place feels comforting, yet my heart pounds with the weight of what I'm about to share. I spot Mark at our usual table, nursing a drink. He looks up and immediately notices the tension etched on my face. Hey, man, you okay? He asks, his brow furrowed with concern as I slide into the chair opposite him. No, I'm not okay, I reply, my voice trembling with barely contained rage. Lucy cheated on me. His eyes widen, and he leans in, genuine shock filling his expression. What? Are you serious? I nod, pulling out my phone to show him the incriminating video. As he watches, his jaw drops, disbelief and sympathy mixing in his gaze. Dude, I can't believe she'd do this to you. She seemed so into you, he exclaims, shaking his head in disbelief. What's your plan? I'm filing for divorce, I state firmly, feeling a surge of empowerment as the words leave my lips. But that's not all. I want revenge, Mark. I want her to feel the consequences of her actions. Mark raises an eyebrow, intrigued. What do you have in mind? I need to expose her, I explain, leaning in closer. I'm going to gather everything I can, evidence, conversations, anything that shows her true colors. I want her to see how her actions have consequences, not just for me but for her as well. That sounds intense, Mark replies, a mix of admiration and caution in his voice. But are you sure you want to go down that path? It could get messy. I lean back in my chair, my resolve hardening. I don't care. I've already lost so much trust in her. She's shown me who she really is, and now I'll show her what happens when you betray someone who truly loved you. As the conversation unfolds, we brainstorm ways to gather evidence discreetly. Mark suggests I look into Lucy's social media for more clues and maybe even reach out to some of her friends to see if they knew about the affair. You'd be surprised how many people talk behind closed doors, he advises. I nod, taking in his suggestions. I'll definitely reach out to some of her friends. I want to find out how deep this goes. We finish our drinks and leave the bar, my head buzzing with plans and determination. As I step outside, I know my first target is Sarah, one of Lucy's closest friends. If anyone knows about her antics, it'll be her. The next day, I text Sarah, playing it cool. Hey, Sarah. Do you have a moment to catch up? Need to chat about Lucy. Her response comes quickly, sure. What's up? I'll be free this afternoon. I can barely contain my anticipation as I head to our meeting spot, a small cafe down the street from our apartment. When I arrive, I spot Sarah seated at a corner table, scrolling through her phone. She looks up as I approach, her face lighting up with a friendly smile. Hey. It's good to see you, she says, her tone cheerful. I force a smile, trying to keep my emotions in check. Yeah, you too, I reply, taking a seat across from her. I wanted to talk about Lucy. Her smile falters slightly, and I catch a hint of unease in her eyes. What's going on? Is everything okay between you two? I take a deep breath, the words heavy on my tongue. No, actually, things are not okay at all. Lucy's been unfaithful. The shock on Sarah's face is palpable. What? No way. Are you serious? I nod, pulling out my phone to show her the video. Sarah watches, her expression shifting from disbelief to concern. I had no idea, she whispers, looking up at me with wide eyes. I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. Thanks, I say, feeling a mixture of relief and anger. I need to know if you've heard anything, or if Lucy has mentioned anything about her activities. Sarah hesitates, biting her lip. Well, I've seen her with some different guys lately, but I thought it was just her being social. She never really said anything to me about it. My heart sinks. So, you didn't know about the guy in the video? No. I promise I didn't, she insists, shaking her head. I would never keep that from you. Right, I say, feeling a surge of frustration. I need to figure out how to expose her. I want to make sure everyone knows what kind of person she really is. Be careful, Sarah warns, her voice low. You don't want to create more chaos than you need. It could backfire. I wave her concern off, my mind set. No, I'm done being the victim here. She took advantage of my trust, and now it's time for her to face the music. As our conversation continues, I gather more information from Sarah about Lucy's recent activities and friends. I know I'm getting closer to uncovering the web of lies she's woven, and each piece of information strengthens my resolve. After we finish our coffee, Sarah leans in. If you need help, just let me know. I can talk to a few people and see if they've heard anything. Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate it, I say, feeling grateful for her support. As I leave the cafe, I can feel the pieces of my plan starting to fall into place. The path ahead may be fraught with tension and emotional turmoil, but I won't back down. Lucy will pay for her betrayal, and I'll make sure she understands the true cost of her actions. With each step I take, the weight of the world feels a little lighter. I'm ready to dive deeper into this game of revenge, and I won't rest until justice is served. The intrigue continues, and I'm determined to come out on top. The days following my conversation with Sarah pass in a blur of strategizing and gathering information. Each new piece of evidence fuels my desire for revenge, and I feel a sense of purpose I haven't felt in years. Lucy's betrayal has ignited a fire in me, and I'm determined to watch her world crumble. I enlist Mark's help, sharing everything I've learned about Lucy's recent escapades and the friends who may have been complicit in her infidelity. We devise a plan to confront Lucy publicly, exposing her for who she truly is in front of the people she cherishes most. It's a risky move, but I know it'll deliver the message I want her to receive: betrayal has consequences. On a Saturday afternoon, I invite Lucy out for coffee, feigning innocence. "I've been thinking a lot about us," I text her. "Let's meet and talk." She eagerly agrees, unaware of the storm brewing just beneath the surface. As we sit at a small cafe, I try to keep my face neutral, but the tension is palpable. Lucy chats animatedly, her laughter echoing in my ears like nails on a chalkboard. The more she talks about mundane things, the more my anger simmers just beneath the surface. I catch her glancing at her phone, likely waiting for some sort of notification from her lover. "Lucy, there's something we need to address," I say, cutting her off mid-sentence. Her smile falters, and she stares at me, confusion etched across her face. "What do you mean? Is everything okay?" I lean in closer, my voice low. "We both know it's not. I saw your story. I know about you and him." The silence hangs heavily between us, and I relish the look of panic that washes over her. Her eyes widen, and I can see the gears turning in her head as she attempts to form a response. "You're overreacting. It was just a mistake," she stammers, desperation creeping into her tone. "A mistake?" I echo, barely containing my fury. "You've made a series of choices, Lucy, and they all lead to betrayal. You're the one who needs to face the truth." Before she can respond, I pull out my phone and start playing the video. The cafe patrons glance over, intrigued by the commotion. Lucy's face turns pale as she watches herself kiss another man on the screen. A wave of embarrassment washes over her, and I savor every moment of her humiliation. "People don't just make mistakes like this," I continue, my voice steady. "This is betrayal, and it's time everyone knows the real you." "Please, you don't have to do this," she pleads, her voice shaking. "I thought we could talk it out." "Talk it out?" I scoff. "You've said enough, Lucy. It's time for you to face the consequences." I stand up, raising my voice to capture the attention of the cafe's patrons. "Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to my wife, who has decided to sleep around while I was working hard to provide for her." Gasps fill the room, and murmurs ripple through the crowd as they turn their attention to us. Lucy's face flushes crimson, and I can see tears welling in her eyes. "Stop it," she shouts, but it's too late. I've unleashed the truth, and I won't stop now. "I'm not done," I declare, scanning the room to ensure I have their full attention. "This woman has betrayed me, and she thinks she can just walk away unscathed. But not anymore. This is your warning, Lucy. I will ruin you." The gasps grow louder, and whispers fill the air. Mark steps forward, standing beside me. "She didn't just hurt Evan, she hurt everyone who cared about her. She doesn't deserve your sympathy." Lucy's pleas grow more frantic as she glances at her friends, desperate for support. "You don't understand. It was just a fling. I didn't mean to hurt him." "No one cares about your excuses anymore," I reply coldly. "You had every chance to come clean, and you chose to lie instead." As I prepare to leave, I catch sight of the man from the video, her lover, walking through the cafe's entrance, oblivious to the chaos. Rage bubbles up inside me, and I realize that this moment isn't just about Lucy, it's about him too. I can't let him off the hook. "Look who just walked in," I announce, pointing him out. "The man who took her from me." His face goes pale as he realizes what's happening. I stride over to him, adrenaline coursing through my veins. "You think you can just come into my life and take what's mine?" I demand, my voice low and dangerous. "What? I didn't know she was with you," he stammers, panic rising in his voice. Don't lie to me, I hiss, stepping closer, closing the distance between us. You knew exactly what you were doing. Before he can respond, I shove him hard, sending him stumbling back into a table. The cafe erupts into chaos as people jump back, eyes wide with shock. I can feel the heat of fury coursing through my veins, urging me to take it further. Evan, stop. Lucy cries, stepping forward, but I ignore her. My focus is solely on him. Stay away from my life, I hiss, my fists clenching. You think you can just play with people's hearts? You'll regret this. He raises his hands defensively, but I can see the fear in his eyes. I didn't mean to. Shut up. I shout, my voice echoing through the cafe. You're not worth my time. I turn back to Lucy, who's now in tears, her facade of confidence completely shattered. You wanted to play games, Lucy. Welcome to mine. I storm out of the cafe, adrenaline still coursing through my veins. The thrill of exposing her has fueled my determination, but I know this isn't the end. I won't let her or her lover off easy. Over the next few days, I put my plan into action, reaching out to her friends, sharing the video, and revealing the truth about her actions. Word spreads quickly, and soon, Lucy finds herself isolated, the trust she once had evaporating in the wake of her betrayal. As I watch her world crumble, I feel a sense of satisfaction, but there's also a hollow ache in my chest. I never wanted it to come to this, I wanted a partner, not an enemy. But the choice was hers, and I realize now that this is the path I must take. On the final day before the divorce papers are filed, I confront Lucy one last time. You thought you could destroy everything we built and walk away? I ask, my voice cold and firm. I'm sorry, she whispers, tears streaming down her face. I never meant for it to go this far. Too late for apologies, I reply, my heart hardened. You made your choice. Now I'll make mine. With that, I walk away, the door closing behind me. There's no turning back. I have taken my revenge, and now I must forge a new path, one free from the shadows of betrayal. As I step out into the world, I feel lighter, as though a weight has been lifted. I know it won't be easy, but I'm ready for whatever comes next. Lucy and her lover may have tried to destroy me, but I've emerged stronger, more resolute than ever. Our paths part forever, and I embrace the freedom that comes with it.